Alright, welcome back everybody, and we are going to do a pod review today on, what do we got ready here? I'm going to do a pod review on this, and this is called the Tobago Seasoning Pepper. Now, unfortunately, what happened with this plant and me is that I happened to put it down here on a corner, and every time I drag this hose by, which is like dragging by an MCM cable, it's a giant cable, and it's like I knock these things over all the time, so I knocked a bunch of the pods off already, and basically they were green, and when you knock pods off when they're green, that's pretty much the end of that pod, so you're not going to get seed out of that. So unfortunately, I have done that probably 2 or 3 times with this plant. For some reason, I keep putting it back here. I should move it and get it out of here, but it's the end of the season. These plants are getting ready to come in, but we got a couple of these that are ready, they look like, and so we'll take that one off, and we'll take this one off here. And yeah, I knocked off a couple around this size too. Nice big ones. And that's a shame. I've got more on there, but at this time of the year, when the pods, they're like small like this, they don't really develop much more than this because the sun really receded back and it's starting to get cold. So the pods don't really develop really much more after that. And so whatever you see on here, it'll probably stay around that size and it won't produce seed. You might be like 3 seeds in that pod, and the rest are runt seeds, basically. You know, they're not going to be viable seeds. So it's an unfortunate thing, but next year will be a better year. You just got to keep the plant alive through the winter, and then you know, we could bring it out next year and we could get a ton of these pods. And basically, what I'm saying is that I probably won't be able to offer seed on it because I just don't have enough seed to offer, but maybe a couple of orders, we'll see. But that's it right there. That is the Tobago Seasoning Pepper. I would imagine it's like a habanero to some degree. Get your right lighting here. I think that's pretty good. Tobago, it's probably like a habanero, but I don't know. I don't know anything about this particular variety of pepper. I've heard of it before, but I don't really know anything about it. So that's it. Let's turn you around and give it a go. Alright, here we are back again doing another pod review for 2020. This is the end of 2020, and so we got some pods that are ready. It looks like a lot of the varieties that I'm growing are not going to produce, you know, fruits that are ripened for me to do pod reviews, so I'll probably have to try and do them indoors. I hate doing pod reviews indoors, but if I have to, I have to. If not, then maybe I'll come out here and do them, but they're not going to be ready before the end of the year. That's my fault because I got started late this year, really late this year. And so, unfortunately, a lot of them aren't coming through. In fact, this pod from this plant, the Tobago Seasoning, this was started last year in August or September. So this plant's been growing for a while. So, yeah, you're going to get pods when you bring them out the following year, even if you don't bring them out until June or July, which is basically what I did. I mean, we were still getting frost here, I think, until like the last week of May or the first week of June. I don't remember. It was late, and that's enough to cause a lot of damage to your crops. So I generally don't bring my plants out. I just keep them under the lights. But the lights, it really screws you up because the days are starting to get longer, and you need to increase that daylight. And if you just don't, then the plants come out and they go through this state of shock that just lasts for weeks, if not months, and it's just a nightmare. So it's an unfortunate thing. It's around here. It's very unpredictable. Sometimes we can get out here in April and just start planting, and other times you can't get out here until June. And that's already too late when it comes to a lot of these varieties of peppers. So this is it. This is the Tobago Seasoning Pepper. This is the small one. I'm just going to eat this one for now. And that's it. Let's get into the review. Man, that thing is soft. Habanero-like. That was nice. That was a nice type of habanero type pepper. We'll get right into the flavor, let the heat build. In general, it's a habanero type of flavored pepper. If you're going to put it into a classification, what does it taste like? Kind of tastes like habanero. It does have a little bit of its own little nuances to it as far as flavors go. What are those exact little nuances? They're impossible to pick out. I could be here for hours trying to pick those out. But in general, it has a habanero type flavor. Now the spiciness is, I'm starting to taste the spiciness to it. Kind of has like a little bit of an aftertaste spiciness of like, say, a fatali. So there is a little bit of spiciness in there. Again, when I'm talking about spicy, we're not talking about heat. We're talking about that flavor that sticks to the back of your tongue and or keeps you belching over and over. You start getting the upset stomach or belches. That's what I refer to when I talk about spicy, not your typical heat. So this pepper is definitely it's got a little heat on it. It's just nothing. I wouldn't go particularly crazy as far as heat goes. It's a nice mild habanero, basically, as far as the type of heat on it. It definitely don't look really like a habanero. It kind of does, but the shape of this thing is definitely strange. You could see what it looks like. It's got a nice taste, guys. That thing really tastes nice. Again, it's got a fatali type of aftertaste, which I like fatalis. It's just fatalis really upset me. They're just too potent. They got too potent of a spice, but this has a nice fatali type of taste to it, and it's just really nice. Now the heat to this so far seems to be pretty low. It's not a very high heat pepper. I would probably put this thing at maybe between 10 and 20,000 so far. The one that I just ate, Scoville unit. So it's a very low heat type of habanero. I'll take another bite. Very nice taste. That's a very nice taste, guys. I really like this pepper. I could see why they call it a seasoning pepper. That aftertaste, it's very nice. You can apply to a lot of different cooking and dishes. Sorry, let's get into the heat. So the heat, again, it's like I'm saying, it could be anywhere between 10 and 20,000. In general, it's really low. It's really heating up like the upper parts of the roof of my mouth, a little bit in the back of the throat, maybe a tiny bit on the lips. The skins were really soft, so everything broke up. I didn't have to spit the skins out or anything. It was a really nice, pliable and chewy type of pepper too. It wasn't like hard or crunchy. It was just nice, soft, and chewy like a gummy bear. It was a very nice effect. So again, with the heat, it's very mild. To be honest with you, I'm sure the heat would probably come up quite a bit more on this. It's just this particular one that I just ate is pretty mild. Yeah, it's like, I mean, I don't know what the higher end of the Scovilles on this could be. It could get a lot hotter, I'm sure. It's just this one here wasn't that hot, so I'm not sure what else to say about it, other than it's a very nice tasting pepper more than anything. I like the flavor. The heat is relatively low, so you can apply this to cooking without worrying about cooking yourself up. A lot of times with these more mild type of peppers is when I make a sandwich or something, I will slice these habaneros in half. I'll take the seeds out of them, cut them in half, and then just lay them on top of my sandwich. So if I'm going to make a ham and cheese, for example, I'll just put that in there, and then I'll take these peppers and I'll cut them in half, flatten them out, and then put them right on top and eat my sandwich like that. That's the way I like to do it. And that way it's unadulterated, the flavor of the habanero, and I'm getting the richness of it. Let me tell you something. I've been drying a lot of these type of peppers out, and I'll tell you, the powders to these peppers are really, really nice. I flake my peppers too, by the way. Just keep in mind, when you're flaking really hot peppers, those flakes can cause you problems later. You're better off powdering really hot peppers, because the flake, they're like little burning embers deep inside of your digestive tract, and that can cause you a lot of pain later. So you're better off with really, really hot peppers, powdering it so it's not going to be like a burning ember deep down inside. So, but with this is the kind of a pepper you can dry this one out and powder it really nice. It would make I'm sure this would make a really nice flake or powder. It's not really hot. I would flake this one, and I would definitely try cooking with it and making salsas, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing with some of these, because most of the peppers I do dry out, but sometimes I have to just eat them fresh as well, because I got so much dried peppers. It's like I don't even know what to do with them. I mean, it builds up after a while. I should sell it and offer it online. It's just I don't want to go through the whole labeling thing, and I don't want to go through all of that. But yeah, it's this is a nice one, guys. This is a really, really nice. I can see, again, I can see why they call it a Tobago seasoning pepper. It has a nice mild effect to it, and that aftertaste is really nice. You can season a lot of meats and stuff with this type of pepper, and not overheat it. You could always add heat later, but a lot of times we just do this. We season our meats and everything just for the flavor of it, and that's really what you should be focusing on. Don't focus on trying to bring the heat up on you. In other words, you got a steak and you're trying to cure cook it a little bit, so you slowly cook it little by little, so the steak kind of gets like a hard, thick skin on the outside, but it still stays tender in the middle. Well, if you're going to do that with peppers, don't worry about getting heat on it so it becomes hot like beef jerky, like a really hot beef jerky, which is another option, by the way. You can take some of these peppers and make like a sauce or a dip, and put it on your beef jerky and then dry it that way. Oh, you want to talk about good. It's just I don't have a dehydrator set up for that, for meats or a smoker. But anyway, guys, that's it. I'm rambling enough. That's basically your pod review for the Tobago seasoning. If you have any questions or any experience using this pepper and you've used it in the past or anything, comment below. Let me know what your experience is with the Tobago seasoning pepper. And, how do you like this pepper? All right, so that's it. What I'll do is, whatever information I do find on the Tobago seasoning pepper, I will put that down in the description. I'll try to give you a pretty good informative description, and I'll also put it on the website. And what I'll also do is leave a link below, and that'll take you over to the webpage where you can buy the seeds. Again, I may not be offering seeds for it this year, depending on how much seeds I get. Don't look like I'm going to get too many pods out of it, but I could probably offer a couple of offers anyway. Next year, I'm sure I'm going to get a ton of these because I'm going to plant it outdoors. So, but that's it, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.